Everyone, so welcome back to today's video. We're going to be talking about all of the products that I have repurchased the most. These are products that I typically cannot not go without in my collection. Like, I always have to have them, or they have just stuck with me for so long that I'm like, I cannot get rid of you. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. I have quite a few of them to talk about. So before we get into the video, if you guys are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe before you guys head out, and let's get into it and let's talk about some makeup. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I literally just threw a bunch of makeup right here on the table, and we're just going to start right into it. The very first thing I have is like a cult favorite. It is the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. This one here is probably like my fourth one that I've repurchased. I have tried time and time again to find new products and kind of find something other than this product, but for some reason, every time I hit pan on it, I'm like, I have to get a new one. I have to get a new one, and I always do. The other reason why I think I love it so much is because I find it to be such an amazing multi-purpose bronzer. So when I go travel, this is something that always comes with me, and 9 times out of the 10 times that I do my makeup while I'm out traveling, I use this as like an eyeshadow to just kind of contour my transition or my crease area, and I call it good. So I think that's the other reason why I love it so much, because it's just so universal for me. The next one I have here is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I haven't touched this bronzer in a while, but this is one of my most repurchased products that I've had in my collection, and I'm surprised. I think I finally was like, look, you cannot be using this color. So I think my plan is to get the lighter shade, but yeah, it's a good bronzer. I have a lot of setting powders, a lot of translucent powders, and the Laura Mercier is one of the ones that I have repurchased the most besides this product, although I just don't have it because I have so many other ones in my collection. But if I have to pick one that I currently have in my collection, it would be the original formula Airspun Loose Powder. The one that I get is just translucent. I have the one that is extra coverage, and that works really well. But this one is a little bit difficult in my area to find. I can only either find this at Walgreens or sometimes Walmart, and so when I do find it, I always stock up, and I find the price point to be really inexpensive, and you can basically not feel guilty about dropping powder anywhere because it doesn't cost that much. I think it's like maybe $12. I think that might be on the steep end too. The next powder I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Powder. I think I love it the most because it's, I think, like $5 or it's like $5 and change. It's such a great formula. I always have one in my purse, and I have one here in the makeup room, and I always make sure that I'm always stocked up on it. I love it. I think it works really good on my skin. I think not only does it look good on my skin, but I also find that it is really good long wearing wise. Like, it will look great even during the day, and it sets my makeup really, really well. So we're gonna move into foundations because I feel like a chunk of mine are foundations, but I've done numerous videos on like my top high-end foundations, my top drugstore foundations, my top drugstore foundations for oily skin, for acne skin, like all of those different types. And I always mention this foundation, and this is my absolute like must-have in my collection at all times, and it is the Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. The shade that I use is shade 208. I don't necessarily will ever wear this alone, but this is the perfect foundation to mix into any sort of full coverage foundation. Just a little bit of the heavy coverage foundation with a mixture of a lightweight coverage, and you're definitely going to get a little bit less coverage, but it's not going to look as cakey, and it's going to be so beautiful because especially if it's a matte foundation, what I find is that this is going to give almost more of like a satin finish. Like, it's not necessarily going to be matte, but it's going to look a little bit less super dry and matte and more like your skin, if that's something you're looking towards. If you guys have been following me since when I started YouTube, then you guys know, and you guys probably won't be surprised that I am talking about this, but this here is the Covergirl 3-in-1 Outlast Foundation. I use the shade anywhere between 855 and 860 is kind of usually where I'm at. I have 4 of these right now in my collection, and I always have to have this on hand because anytime my skin starts acting up, or whenever I can't figure out what is going on and I start breaking out, I will go back to using this one, especially if I need something full coverage, because I know for a fact that this will not break me out. I don't know about you guys, but I always have these certain products that I go to. If my skin is acting up and it's really, really bad, then I always go back to like my standard makeup look, and I always use the same products that I know work for me. and this is one of them. We also have the Maybelline Fit Me, which is also another one of those products. It's the exact same way I feel about this one as I do about the Covergirl. The shade that I use all the time is shade 310, and this is the perfect everyday foundation. It's super affordable. It's like $5. On my off days, this is what I wear. This is usually in my everyday collection. I use the matte and poreless one because that's just what I like, but I don't find that it's definitely a super matte finish. I still think like it gives a little bit of a natural finish, which I like. Normally with concealer, I have enough in my collection that I haven't had to repurchase, but there's only one that I've repurchased about 4 times now, and it is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. The shade that I use is in light neutral. This one here is by far the most used that I've played around with at all. I love the formula of it. It's not going to be as full coverage as some of the other concealers that I use, but it's definitely there. I just really like the formula. It's one of the lighter weight formulas that I use underneath my eyes, and I find it to be really easy to wear. The 2 brow products that I use the most, or repurchased the most, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills products. The Brow Wiz is my most repurchased item ever. I have Ebony, I have dark brown, I have them all. Because when I color my hair, sometimes if I color it too dark, I have to use a different brow pencil. Sometimes if it's too light, I use a brown. You know, it's just, my hair color just makes me mad sometimes. But the Brow Wiz is the one that I use the most. My biggest issue with the Brow Wiz though is that it goes pretty quickly. So it's been nice because here lately I've found a lot of dupes for it. The NYX Micro Brow is really good, and I really love the Joa brow pencil. It's really, really great. So I haven't repurchased this in a while, but this is my most repurchased. And then the brow gel. I haven't used this in a while. I was using some other brow gels, and I went back to using it again, and now I'm like obsessed because now I remember why. It's one of those brow gels where it just keeps your brows in place all day, and not only that, it keeps the product in. I use other brow gels, and throughout the day my brows will like come off, and this one, nothing. It will not budge. So I have 2 primers. They are the Benefit Porefessional and then the Veil Primer. This one is by Hourglass. I do not get this one often. This is my second one. The first one I purchased, I was like, it's so expensive. And then it lasted me a very long time though. And then when they did their beauty deal through Sephora where you got like 20% off, I've repurchased it again. So the nice thing about this is that yes, it's expensive, but it takes you a while to go through it because you don't need a lot. I just recently repurchased this not very long ago. It's like an OG product for me, that one there. Now to finish off, we have just 2 lipsticks. I have a lipstick and a lip gloss. I actually have 2 lipsticks, but I can't find the other one, and I'm pretty sure it's in my car. And the 2 lipsticks, I'll show a picture of the other one, but the one I have here is the Matte Velvet Teddy by MAC Cosmetics, and then the other one is Cream in Your Coffee by MAC Cosmetics. For me, it feels good, it looks good, and anytime I go to events, anytime I'm out all day, I always have one of these lipsticks on hand. And then for gloss, this one here, I feel like a lot of people love it. A lot of people rave about it. And it is the NYX Butter Glosses, but the shade that I personally love the most is Angel Food Cake. This one on top of Cream in Your Coffee by MAC. It's an amazing duo. That there is all of the makeup that I have repurchased. Let me know if any of these products down below that I've talked about are products that you guys have repurchased too, or what is your most repurchased item. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.